Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is not your average Josh back here for another movie review. And today I am reviewing the movie Clerks 3, directed by Kevin Smith. And this is a very happy moment for me. I grew up watching the Kevin Smith movies, and the fact that I'm reviewing this movie and got to go see it, I'm just really happy about it. I got a lot of good things to say about it. A very overwhelmingly positive experience with this movie. But yeah, like I said, I grew up watching the Kevin Smith movies. Me and my dad watching from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back to Dogma to even a movie like Cop Out that wasn't very well received. So I really appreciate the filmography of Kevin Smith. There's still some movies I haven't seen yet, like Tusk and Yoga Hosers. But for the most part, everything I've seen from Kevin Smith, I've either appreciated, if not loved. So I was really excited that Kevin Smith was concluding his Clerks trilogy now, finally bringing out this movie, directing it just after he came out with Jay and Silent Bob Reboot a couple years ago that I did see and I also thoroughly enjoyed. I knew this movie was probably going to be a blast for the most part. I was going in expecting that. But what I'm really probably going to be talking about for the most part with this movie review is just how emotional and impactful this movie really was. And I was not expecting that. Not that Kevin Smith isn't capable of it or that I haven't seen things that could show that he could have this type of emotional impact, but it was really a combination of things. I think the performance he got from his actors is better than I've ever seen from any Kevin Smith movie. I don't know what it was, and maybe it was all the actors knew that this was a very emotional movie anyway. You know, Kevin Smith obviously with Clerks, his first real breakthrough movie. A lot of people still think it's his best movie. That alone just had a lot of emotional weight behind it when it came to this movie. So with Clerks 3, you did have pretty much all the returning cast. You had, of course, Randall and Dante coming back. Of course, Jay and Silent Bob were there. They were great as always. You also even had Rosario Dawson coming back as her character, and I thought that was really even added more to the emotional impact of the character Dante. I thought his journey in this was definitely the most dramatic, and I think he had the best character arc in this movie and maybe of this whole Clerks trilogy. I'm not going to get into too many spoilers here, but what I will say is, we've seen the trailers or anything, the movie does start out with Randall having a heart attack. He does end up surviving, and he kind of has this moment in life. He's getting older. He's not too happy with the fact that he's still working at the Quick Stop with not just that he's working with Dante, just being there in general. He didn't succeed to anywhere else in life, and it's really starting to mess with him. Of course, having the heart attack, he could have died, and he just felt like he did not accomplish much in life, and that really kind of propels this movie forward. At that point, he decides he wants to shoot his own movie, and you get really this whole meta idea going on in this. This is definitely the most meta of any Kevin Smith movie, and I know with the Jay and Silent Bob movies especially, it's kind of surprising, and it was surprising for me even, but I thought it was done really well. This could have came off as cheesy, even cash grabby, and there are going to be some people that, you know, maybe are just traditional haters of Kevin Smith that will probably say, oh, this movie was just so he can continue to make money and just make movies that are in his comfort zone but aren't necessarily good movies. I would disagree with that. I'm kind of a little biased. I'll just admit that anyway. I am biased towards Kevin Smith. I love a lot of his movies. I love just him as a person. He's just really cool, and I think the way he's made movies is really inspirational, not just movie making, but at any field that you're in, just to watch how he was able to carve his own path and do what he wants to do for the most part is really cool. So, you know, like I said, you're going to have your detractors saying that he's doing this just for money or whatever, but I thought the story, if you watch this movie, it's really hard to say that he's doing it for that. I think he really had a story to tell here, a story he wanted to complete, and just the fact, going along with the meta nature of this movie, a lot of it is based on some stuff Kevin Smith's gone through, of course, notably the heart attack. If you know anything about Kevin Smith, you know he had a heart attack a few years back. Honestly, I think it's been about 4 years now. I don't know the exact timeline, but he's really gone through a big journey since then of trying to stay healthy, and really that just goes into Randall's character here, just kind of infusing himself into the story, and I think Kevin Smith has really always done a good job of doing that, making these characters that are real and you can get attached to on their own, while also incorporating some of his life experiences, which is what I think you really kind of want out of any filmmaker for the most part. I mean, I know there's particular type of movies where you're going to make movies based on maybe historical characters where you're not necessarily putting your experiences in it as much, but especially with the type of movies Kevin Smith makes, I think it's very appropriate and very cool. So that is pretty much my main thoughts without going into too much spoilers. I really enjoyed this movie. There's really no negatives I really have with this movie. I'd say because this movie does have a lot of comedy in it, there are some jokes that are just naturally not going to land. And I think the ones that didn't land the most, the main reason for me why it didn't really resonate with me or make me laugh as much as some of the others were, they did feel a little dated. Had some jokes on how the weed culture has changed and how our views on weed and how people buy weed and stuff. And it's all jokes I understood and they weren't dumb or anything, but it wasn't anything where I was laughing out loud at. But I mean, other than little nitpicky things like that, a few jokes that didn't land, honestly, there was really nothing negative I could say about this movie. All the acting was on point. To get Brian back as Dante and Jeff Anderson back as Randall was really cool in and of itself. I don't think this movie would have worked without it because obviously they're the central characters, the main two central characters behind the whole idea of Clerks. But just the way they concluded their story and how heartfelt it was and the way they acted, they were just so good, particularly Dante. I think he was showing some acting skills that I had never seen from him. Although, I mean, I've really only seen him in the Clerks movies. And same with Randall. But I thought they just did such a good job of hooking us onto the storyline of this particular movie and obviously concluding this trilogy. So yeah, that is really my main thoughts on Clerks 3. I don't really have much else to say without getting into some spoilers with it. And to be honest, I don't really think I need to. This movie had some limited releasing in some theaters, and I know Kevin Smith is also touring with this movie. So there's not going to be as many eyeballs on it, and I think it's just a fun movie. If you love Kevin Smith, I would definitely say it's a must-see. If you don't love Kevin Smith, maybe you saw the first Clerks, maybe even the second one, maybe even just another random movie like Dogma or something. If you're not really a fan of him, I don't think this movie is really gonna put you full on board. I'm gonna watch every Kevin Smith movie now and find something to appreciate out of it. But I do think you might have more of an appreciation for just Kevin Smith's directing as a whole. And maybe if you think he is a bad director, you can watch this and say, oh no, he's not a bad director. He's made some choices that wasn't very popular, just the concepts like Tusk and Yoga Hosers as a whole. But again, I just go back to me personally, I appreciate the way he's gone about making movies, really doing it his way as much as he can. And yeah, so I really love that. Like I said, if you love Kevin Smith, you're gonna have a blast with this, along with hopefully feeling the moments of drama that there is the way I felt it, which really hit me stronger than I thought it was going to. That is my thoughts on Clerks 3. I will give it a rating. I could give it a 10 out of 10, but that would kind of be my biased opinion. There is not a perfect movie, so I will go ahead and give Clerks 3 a 9 out of 10. Yeah, that might be Kevin Smith's best movie of his career. I don't know, maybe my favorite. I still haven't seen his whole filmography, I will say, so I can't say definitively what I think. But what do you guys think? If you're watching this right now, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Follow me on my socials. It should be up there on the screen somewhere. And yeah, I post some content on there, clips mostly from this YouTube, and just some reactions, instant reactions to some movies I go see. But here on YouTube is where most of my content is going to be here going forward. I'm just starting this YouTube channel out, so I appreciate anyone that's watching this right now. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Clerks 3. Be looking very soon for the review of Pearl that I did see a couple days ago with my friend, and really enjoyed that movie as well. Be looking forward to thoughts on that. I want to thank everybody for watching this. Anyone who's watching this right now, not your average Josh, and I will leave you on this. Snoogans.